Yes, your ears do not deceive you. You can indeed hear crickets. Those crickets are not here, I can tell you, in Canada, where currently it is something like -6 Celsius. On today's episode of Fuse from PRCA, I am delighted to have a guest with me live in Barbados. Ayesha Lett, welcome to Fuse.
Oh, thank you so much, Dan. I am so honored and honestly thrilled to be here and to have a conversation with you today. And yes, pardon the crickets. Oh,
I think it adds to the ambiance of what we're doing here today. So, Aisha, just for people who, I mean, we're going to talk about Barbados and communication, PR, marketing, etc. in just a second. But for people who don't know you, Aisha, please do a quick introduction. Tell us about you.
so I'm a seasoned marketing and communications professional. I've got about 20 plus years in the business. My background was first in media, broadcast journalism, and then I pivoted to public relations and communications. And I've spent just more than a decade in both the private and the public sector, working in financial institutions as well as for the United States government based here in Barbados. I'm really passionate about communications. I'm really passionate about good communications and having the role of the communicator be seen as part of the broader um, layout, if you will, of any organizational structure. I don't think that comms folks should struggle for a seat at the table. I think we should be given a seat at the table and be absolutely listened to. And that's what I'm really passionate about. I love writing, I love speaking. And on the lighter side of life, I'm a big foodie, always up for exploring new cultures and new cuisines and talking about it. I'm also a big Christmas lover. So it's December, and Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to everyone.
And to you. I mean, let's look at it this way. Your Christmas experience and your holidays experience is going to be very different to mine. Currently, as we were planning this episode, it's snowing outside, and just looking out of the window, there's someone walking a dog. And believe me, I think they'd rather be walking the dog in your temperatures than the temperatures here right now.
Yes, Barbados is in the Caribbean. It is in the tropics. We are summer all year round. We had a high today of about, sorry, I still do Fahrenheit, so about 86 degrees Fahrenheit. And it was breezy, a little rain, but yeah, it's summer all year round. I miss the snow and I miss the winters and the falls. A chance to explore different fashions and just to you feel a real change in the seasons.
I'm particularly intrigued about is you live on an island. How large is it? And as a follow up question, when it comes to communication and marketing, what's the need there?
Barbados, we're just 166 square miles. Um, we are the most eastern of the Eastern Caribbean islands. It's an archipelago, and we sit just on the outside of it. Our marketing and communications needs, we have quite a few. We have indigenous businesses, but then we also have some international brands. So there is space for marketing and communications. There are some, very decent jobs available at the higher levels and even at the entry levels. We also have advertising agencies here who cater to local and regional clients. So, on the other side of marketing, if you join advertising, there's also that. So, while the market is small, I mean, at the end of the day, we pretty much all know each other. Um, I still think there's space for everyone. And the needs and the gaps are filled by all of us with various experiences and various things in common. And then, of course, our differences, which I guess, to be very cliched, makes us all unique. So, here, I think we're very fortunate that there is no struggle to have an understanding of the marketing and comms role. The folks are here, they're experienced, they're educated, and I think we bring a lot to bear to all the various organizations. And we've got all kinds here: financial institutions, oil and gas, Like I said, local businesses, small, medium, and large. And yeah, there is a huge role for marketing and comms over here.
When it comes to international brands trying to communicate into Barbados, is there sometimes a challenge that they don't understand the local market or appreciate regional differences?
Yeah, that has been a challenge, but I think that we've all managed to overcome it. I think that, our professionalism and the conversations we've had to have with the principals at the top to understand, okay, we understand that we are, a head office or a subset of your international brand. And a lot of times, the comms and the comms products are packaged and pushed out worldwide. What I've had to do in previous roles is asked permission for it to be localized, for it to make sense, for it to resonate in the market. So, in print campaigns or digital campaigns, we need people that look like us. People respond and people resonate with, people who look like us. So, can we have artwork that reflects that? If you're voicing an ad, if it's a radio ad or any kind of broadcast ad, can we have an accent that sounds like us? And even within the entire Caribbean, you will still find, well, we all sound different. And you'll find in other markets, they too will ask for a voice that sounds like them. They want it completely localized. So that has not been a big as issue. I find over time, the international brands that are here have understood that. And in every role I've been in, we've been given the leeway. So your top lines still say the same. Your key messages still say the same. The look and feel of the brand overall still stays the same. But if you're looking at lifestyle images or, people or whatever, yeah, let them look like us, let them sound like us, to make an impact in the market. And they've listened and it has worked. So you still have that international brand recognition, whether it's logos and brand colors and stuff, but the people look like the people who are looking at the ads. And that has worked.
When it comes to Barbados homegrown talent, home owned organizations, are there many opportunities to communicate for them internationally? What's the routine if they want to communicate to a different geography, whether that's within the Caribbean or not?
In those cases, that's where the advertising agencies come in and act as that middleman, for lack of a better word, between us and the exported product. So in previous roles I've relied a lot on the advertising agency, which was not based here. It was based in another Caribbean island, but they're bigger than us and they had more experience in marketing and communicating with other markets. So we relied on them to help us to create, the marketing plans, the comms plans, all the tactics, all the products and everything to make it, ready for the other markets. And that was in a regional context. I find that, say, for instance, in our export side of things, so or food and drinks and stuff, I find that those tend to be marketed towards the diaspora. So, say for instance, like our local cookies or whatever, you'll see if you're traveling or whatever, you might see an ad or you might hear about it, and you would realize that it is pitched to Barbadians living abroad. So while I have no doubt that the other, people in other countries might buy it, I found that the marketing has been, very diaspora targeted. So Barbadians overseas will understand and get it.
What is there? I mean, if I'm someone wanting to get into this sector and I was in mainland Europe or Canada or America or Australia or somewhere else, it's a very straightforward path, but we're very reliant on the courses that our local educational establishments offer us.
Mm.
So, in terms of that, is there anything in communication, marketing, PR that's available locally?
Yes, and I can speak for Barbados for sure. At our, well, we call it the community college, the Barbados Community College, which is a tertiary institution here. They do offer mass communications, an associate degree in mass communications. And then here in Barbados at the BIMAP, Barbados Institute of Management and Productivity. There's also a certificate course in public relations, and I think some more advanced in marketing as well. And then at the University of the West Indies over in Jamaica, because there are campuses all around. So the one in Jamaica as well focuses on communications. So you could go all of those routes. Or you could do like me and some others, and you could choose to go further afield, whether it's United States, which is what the path I chose, or Canada, or England, of course. So yeah, there are all those opportunities for being educated in it. And then of course there's the experience, which to me undergirds the education.
And the reason I ask that is that when we look at the pure size of the sector in which we work, it's not the largest. So some geographies in the world, I mean, even just in the city in which I live, there isn't actually a pure communications course of any kind. You have to go to the next city across. So that's why I asked that one particularly. I find it fascinating. Um, Ayesha, it's been a delight to have you on here. I would also like to make a little bit of an announcement. Ayesha is going to join us as co producer, co host here on Fuse. I'm so excited to have you joining us on this.
As am I. You could not be more excited than I am. We've been talking about this for a while, and it's something I really wanted to get into and, learn more about. So I'm totally looking forward to it. And I'm hoping that we can thrill and educate and entertain our audiences, one podcast at a time.
Ayesha, I couldn't be happier. Thank you for joining us here on Fuse, and I'm looking forward to hearing you on Fuse as well. I do have a follow up for
Sure.
you. I like listening to podcasts from different parts of the
Mhm.
world. I have found some fascinating ones across mainland Europe and Southeast Asia. There's a podcast network in Africa called AfriPods,
Mm.
which has an amazing selection. My challenge to you, Ayesha, is to find me. My time is filled trying to listen to podcasts, but find me two particularly local podcasts that I've probably never
Right.
heard of that I can indulge in.
Sure. I will take up that challenge and try my best to meet it. I surely will. And I'll get back to you.